In recent years, consumers have been influencing a drive for food producers to supply healthier and more sustainable products, with a particular emphasis on plant-based proteins. As a result of that, and regulatory changes, the uptake of hemp crops has been on the rise. And one group of growers soon realised there was a need for a processing infrastructure to support this growth. Hemp Connect now operates a purpose-built processing plant in Whanganui.
Hemp Connect was founded as a hobby when we had a group of gentlemen that decided that we wanted to grow hemp because of the sustainability of the plant. And we really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into at that point in time. It was plant the crop and let's see what can happen with it. And we did that and had a successful harvest. After we did our first harvest, we went around and tried to get somebody to process the hemp seed and turn it into food for us. To our surprise, nobody could do that, so that was when we took the plunge and decided to set up our own factory back in 2017. As a group, we had very little food experience in general, so it was really asking questions and learning number 8 why mentality. Fortunately, we had a very supportive community around us. The council were amazing, walked us through it step by step, and everyone sort of wanted to see this factory and the industry sort of grab a footing, so everyone lent a hand. 8 to 9, this falls within spec. So we began with drying, dressing machines, then went into dehullers, oil presses, bagging machines, so on and so forth, in a sequential chronological order. On farm, hemp is extremely hard on your equipment. Inside a factory, when you're making food products, it's relatively gentle. One of the key points is that you want soft transitions throughout your food process to maintain the integrity of the food. So everything's quite delicate in this factory. Everything in here is designed purely for hemp, so it is as specialised as it gets. There's a few machines, e.g. the oil press or the cold press and the UV tunnel and those sorts of components that can be used for other areas of grain and things as well. Currently, the facility that we're in is 350 square metres, and because of our growth that we're having year on year, it's not sufficient, and we want to keep driving this growth in this industry. So we're planning on moving into a factory that is just under 1,000 square metres. Currently, hemp food products in New Zealand are quite expensive to produce, so we've designed a process that is going to become really efficient and help us achieve competitiveness within the domestic market.
My background in hemp was I started another superfood business with some friends, and we sort of just fell into the hemp space really. The law was just changing in early 2018, and we sort of just opened up, and hemp was an opportunity, so I was very lucky that we got into it. In the journey I met the guys at Hemp Connect here, and one thing led to another, and now I'm part of the team. The thing that excites me about hemp the most is that it's sort of relearning what was lost for 100 years. It's an ancient grain, it has so many uses. It can feed us, it can clothe us, it can house us. Essentially it can fuel life in so many ways. So it's a really basic crop and grain, but it just has so many uses, which is really exciting and really amazing where innovation can take it as well in the future. Consumers are really responding to the health side of things. We find that one of the biggest demographics of people to engage with us and our website is females who are 65 plus, so people who are sort of really exploring holistic health in the later stage of life. Another one of the major demographics that we have that consume our products would be millennials, so sort of 25 to 35, so people who are a bit more aware of hemp and the potential of it, how it's good for the planet in particular as well as our bodies. At the moment we are producing hemp seed oil, we're also turning that into a capsule form. So health supplements, protein powders, flours, and a whole sort of range of various grades of powders that we can get. And we can also be selling it to more wholesale bread manufacturers and larger scale manufacturing businesses as well. So there's no gluten in the crop, it's just with using combine harvesters and things that have been using other grains with gluten in it, there is that cross-contamination, but the hemp seed or the hemp crop in and of itself doesn't contain any gluten. The potential for expansion with hemp in New Zealand is huge. In 2018 there was only 200 hectares of hemp grown, and then 2019 there was 1,200 hectares grown. So we expect that to continue, and that's where we are sort of setting ourselves up to be a big part of that growth moving forward. I still think people are learning a lot about hemp, and there's still some confusion about hemp and its relationship to marijuana. Will it get me high? What will my friends think of me if I tell them I'm consuming hemp, particularly for that older demographic? So there's definitely a lot of room to grow and expand the market with education and bringing hemp into more everyday use with common products like soaps or just bread or things that we use every day. And I think over time that those stigmas and barriers will break down. And when we can do that and we can improve our processing efficiency, then we really open up to having hemp being consumed in almost every meal for every family. And that's really our ultimate goal, is to see hemp reach those levels.